what's up, you guys? Welcome to the Mango Grove. My name is Krisha, and this is today's drumroll Bitcoin, of course, analysis video. I have Sean with me today. Sean, say hello.
Good morning. It's a cozy day. It's Friday.
Oh, yes, it is Friday. Yay! I love Fridays. I feel like the mood just changes with everyone out there. Now, I'm gonna just, Sean, I say we just jump straight to the chase today. Okay, we've been sort of guiding them through this trade setup, right? We had presented you guys with two targets. Target 1 being this 24K region, and target 2 being the bottom of the range at $22,000.
So it looks like we've pretty much hit your target 1. We're seeing a little bounce over here. So Kusha, do you get bullisher now? What's the plan?
So that's the thing, right? I was looking at my phone today on Tap Trader, and I noticed this beautiful bounce on the lower time frames. I'm like, okay, we got down to target 1, but price, if you look at that, look at the shadow on that, right? We've bounced right off of our target 1, and that's a pretty intense bounce. Let's actually go ahead and take a look at it on the 1 hour time frame.
Oof. Oh man. Okay, so now here's a question. Do you stick to your guns? Do you stick to your guns and say, no, I'm going to wait for target 2? Okay, or do you feel bullish? And if you do choose to wait for target 2, when do you get invalidated, right? Because I think this is something everyone struggles with, right? Okay, yeah. I've hit my first target, profit target. Should I keep waiting for profit target 2 now, right? If I hold on, I may end up giving back everything and then some. Imagine your trade going into a loss after taking profits, and then your profits getting eaten into. Okay, right. So guys, today that's what we're going to talk about. Today we're going to talk about should you wait for target 2? Okay, and at which point do you throw in the towel and say, you know what, that's it, this trade is done. I took my first T1 profits, and that's good enough because now I think this is going to go up.
Exactly. So, and this is something that I want to talk about, right? Because I agree. I have been in the same shoes where I've gotten really stuck in this sort of in this conundrum. I'm like, should I just close out my short? Should I just take my profits and just get out? Take the other side of the trade, maybe? Well, let's go back on over to MangoView. So we have that target 1 right there. Now, Sean, a couple of videos before, we were talking about this other very bearish signature. One of the bearish signatures that actually drove me to be like, you know what, Bitcoin is coming down. I mean, I was bullish for the longest time before I actually caught that, right? And what was that bearish signature? Well, let's go ahead and give that video a quick sort of rewatch, all right? And now this is it. This is the bearish signature, and so let's go ahead, sit back, and let's play. But this time around, I actually looked at it because I know that the MACD never really crosses bearish on the weekly time frame. And even if it does, it happens very, very rarely. Like, you can actually count it on one hand, Sean, right? So I was looking at this, I was looking at these two indicators, and I like using them. I don't like using them in isolation, and that's why I bring them up together to gauge what, who's really in control here. Is it the bulls? Is it the bears? What's really happening? Anyways, I zoomed out of this. First off, I was really shocked to find that we actually crossed bearish on the weekly time frame.
Is that confirmed?
It's almost confirmed, and that's what I'm saying. That
this week's going to be
is going to be important.
I see why
it's going to be important. Okay, we have a cross here, and this week, if this cross maintains the bearish stance that we're seeing right now, that is a confirmation on there, right? So now if I just have to give you guys a quick back test on how this has performed in the past, first off, I want you to notice how many times we've gotten a bearish cross on the MACD, right? The last time we got a bearish cross was April of 2022. Okay, what did price do on April of 2022? So April of 2022, we got a cross here, and price actually continued to the downside all the way to the bottom of the Bollinger Band. Notice how we broke the mid on the Bollinger Band, right? Let me just zoom in. We broke the mid of the Bollinger Band, continuation to the downside, all right, with a cross right here. Okay, so that was the last instance where we actually got a bearish cross on the MACD. Now, what was the second instance before that? Well, we had a bearish cross here on 29th November 2021. Okay, so this was it right here. And how did price perform? Once again, we lost the mid of the Bollinger Band, continuation to the downside all the way to the bottom of the Bollinger Band once again. Okay, how about when was the last time it took place before that? This happened on April of 2021. Okay, now you can see that we got the cross right here, April of 2021 on the MACD. How was price performing then? We were still living over the mid. We were actually putting in a bearish head and shoulders pattern here on the tops at around $57,000. Just look at that, right? Broke the mid, that was your tell, and that, okay, the bears
Trade
are
is
taking
activated.
over. We're coming down to the bottom of that Bollinger Band, and we did.
So
Alright.
it goes like this. MACD crossing bearish is get ready. Losing the mid on the Bollinger Bands is, hey, trade activated. Look for a move all the way to the bottom of the Bollinger Bands.
Yes. All right, so brilliant. That was it. So, Sean, now I'm thinking that we go into the chart, go and check out price relative to that Bollinger Band to see where we're at. Because before, in this video, we were actually still living over it, right?
So remember, guys, before we go on to the charts, let's go through the steps again. MACD crossing was get ready for the trade. Once the weekly loses the middle of the Bollinger Band, it's trade activated. Look for further downside. So let's see what we have.
All right, so here we have it. Bitcoin with the Bollinger Band, with the MACD on the weekly time frame. What are we doing relative to that region right there? Well, here it is. If I just zoom in, you'll see that we had one confirmed weekly close underneath the mid. And for now, guys, we're still holding that mid as overhead resistance. Okay, we have not reclaimed that. And unless...
So the trade is activated.
Yeah,
okay?
it's still there.
And we've had a pretty significant downside move when you look at the low time frames. But when you look at this picture, you realize that, damn, this could go down way further, giving you a much bigger win on your trade.
Yeah.
The low time frames may tend to shake you out of these big wins, guys. So you have to be very, very careful. And it really comes down to your personality. Do you want to take the big win? Do you want to take the singles and go on to the next trade, or are you looking for the home run? You have to figure out your trading personality. Me personally, I love looking for home runs, right? And in the process, I do give up a lot of singles because trades do move back on me. So while on the lower time frames, we may look like we're putting in a big reversal move, on the weekly, it kind of looks like a nothing burger, right, Krisha?
Yeah.
It looks like this could still come down way, way further. So if you guys are trading the mango way, trading the stress-free way, trading the easy way, don't get too caught up in the lower time frames. Have your invalidation, and it's okay to have an invalidation based on the daily. Krisha, you had an invalidation based on daily, saying that, hey, if we close 2 daily candles above, let's say, the weekly 200 moving average, or you could use the middle of the Bollinger, right? Mark out a line, guys, in the middle of your Bollinger, right over there, the way Krisha is doing right now, and then you can switch on over to your lower time frames and say, you know what? If the daily closes above this green line over here, and we see 2 daily candle closes above there, I'm going to get out of my short trade on the weekly. That's completely fine. So that way you don't have to wait for an entire week to pass by. Or you could be super mango and say, I'm just going to check my charts on Monday morning and see how the weekly has closed relative to the Bollinger Band. So switch back to the weekly, right? And guys, this weekly candle, it could come further down or it could reverse. Just wait for it, right? That's the mango way.
That is beautiful. That is the mango way, right? It basically frees up your day for you to do a bunch of other things. It's about setting expectations ultimately. So if you guys have to journal, I still journal till this day, right? So get those journals out, start recording your thesis, and then execute on your trades. Now, Sean, this was just one part of it. This was actually the confluencing factor of the other macro setup, and it all sort of just blended into each other.
So let's recap here, all right? Just to get it straight. Are we looking for a reversal here? Are we still looking for further downside?
We're still looking for further downside,
Okay.
right? We have not been invalidated on this trade. Yeah. Come on, we're still underneath that mid.
And remember,
right?
guys, Krisha and I, we're both Bitcoin bulls. We don't want further downside, okay? But we are using our technical analysis to protect ourselves from making all these psychological mistakes that we tend to make as traders, right? We stick to the side of the trend. And even now, based on the 200 weekly moving average that Krisha talked about in yesterday's video and the day before and the day before, right? We've lost key levels. And we want to see Bitcoin reclaim those so we can have reasons to be bullish.
So now the play from on the Bollinger, just to go over that with you guys, is historically, every time we've lost the mid, we've come down to the bottom of the Bollinger, which is still a good 16, 17% to the downside, right? So what I'm going to do, Sean, I actually want to mark out a line at the bottom of the Bollinger here, okay? Just to give us a range. What's that range play that we're looking for? So now this is the weekly, but this was also just one part of that trade, right? What was the other part? What was the entire play? It was the weekly, yes. But in addition to that, right, it was that 200 simple moving average lining up with the Bollinger mid, guys. So we were looking, there was so much confluencing factors on that region, right? So we were looking for price to break give it a retest, which it did, right? We're seeing a wick on there, and then continuation to the downside. Now, we have not reclaimed the 200 simple moving average, nor have we reclaimed the mid of the Bollinger Band. That short trade that we took based on the weekly time frame is still very much active.
Indeed, and that's simply how simple we keep it, right? Wait for the weekly 200 moving average to be reclaimed, because that was the premise of this trade. And remember, Kishore, what you said when you gave this trade idea to the rest of us, you said that, hey, I like this trade because my entry becomes my invalidation.
Exactly.
Right? You enter on the test of the 200. Well, we got the test of the 200 right over there. Now we simply wait for the invalidation, which is a close above. You know what makes this super, super awesome now, Kishore? Which is what I've been waiting for. This is my reason to get ultra bullish if we see a reversal, is we activate the Sean Dexter breakout, fake out pattern play, right?
Ooh.
Where the falling channel has now broken to the downside. Okay, so everyone playing that falling channel is like, oh shit, I got to get out of this trade. Right? I got to get out of this trade. What happens when it breaks down out of the falling channel? It breaks back into the falling channel, and then it breaks out to the upside of the falling channel, which is why I call it the fake out breakout pattern, because it first fakes people out of the pattern and then it actually breaks out, right? And again, we've traded this multiple times, and we're seeing this happen even on the Bitcoin dominance chart, right? So this is the trade that will give me a lot more confidence to the upside, even if we don't hit your target 2, Krisha, right? Now, I'm waiting for target 2, right? I have my gunpowder ready to deploy target 2. But I think this trade playing out, right, leading into the close of next week, is what's gonna really, really surprise people. Because now everyone's waiting for 23K, 22K, right? Everyone's waiting for it. Everyone has invalidated this pattern play. What happens when it gets validated again? Well, they all have to start closing out their shorts. They all have to start chasing price again at high prices in case they are short their spot position. It kind of turns into a 19K scenario from December 2020, where everyone who was trying to play for that downside move is suddenly inherently short Bitcoin, and they're chasing high prices.
Exactly. So I think the key here is to employ discipline and just be patient, because that patience, that discipline is going to pay off as we move forward in for the rest of this cycle. All right, it's always that discipline that pays off. That's that discipline that's going to catch you those big baggers. Okay.
So patience to wait for the downside, right? Because we're still, the direction of the trend is still there, right? We still have some time for the downside to play out, but the discipline to say, hey, this is not playing out anymore. I've been invalidated on that downside move. I need to start getting back into position, or I need to start closing out my shorts because I don't want to give back all my profits.
Yeah. And this still remains. So now, as far as this invalidation is concerned, this remains still relatively easy, right? You're looking at the 200, you're looking at the Bollinger Band, but in addition to all of this, what was the one other thing that we were talking about, guys? Well, that was the FVG. And here it is. All right, so if I go ahead and turn on my 200 simple moving average, you can see that this is Bitcoin USDT on the weekly time frame. Go ahead, turn on the 200 simple moving average. The FVG also lines up with that region. Like, it doesn't get easier than this. Just keep it simple, stupid, and this trade is going to be a good one, a good trade to manage.
And that's where you got your target 2 from, because that's the bottom. Target 2 is actually the bottom of the FEG.
Correct.
It was actually the FEG that was the basis of this entire trade. We lose the top of the FEG, we're looking for the bottom of the FEG.
Yeah.
As simple as that, right?
Right. So FEG target 2, guys, comes in at around $22,600. Cool beans, cool beans. Sean, is there any other final thoughts you have for them today?
No, keep it mango, keep it easy, keep it stress-free, enjoy your weekend. And hey, if you guys are looking to learn, I really suggest watching all of the videos from this week, right? If you guys are looking to be traders, right? There have been some really good educational setups for all of you. So use that weekend time to, rewatch the videos.
All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoy your weekend, and we will see you with the next update. With this, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way. Ciao, you guys.
Ciao.